Well, I don't know what the hell happened there, folks, but we are live again, and I do appreciate the patience. I don't know what happened. I know when I got to the internet this morning and went to fire it up, it wouldn't even start. But here we are, and I have no music loaded. I have nothing loaded. Hayden's here. Joseph is not. I don't know where Joseph is, and I don't know if Joseph's coming back. So that's what happens when you don't show up like you're supposed to. And then you don't tell me. I don't give a shit if you oversleep or not. I don't care if you're getting paid or not. Whatever, man. It's a bad morning, as you can tell.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
We're already rough start to the day.
Yep.
We're
totally ridiculous.
We're prepared for a situation like this. It's just...
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I got my phone going off about some stupid shit. I don't know. But, let me just let her know we're live. Yeah, so here we are on a Wednesday. Joseph, if you got the show up and you're listening, you should have came in, period. Or you should have called me and told me you weren't coming in. Let's see. We're only about 7 minutes late on getting the show up, so.
Yeah, it could have been.
Could have been worse like the other day, man, where I couldn't even do the show. I don't know what happened, man. I came in here, I fired up everything like I normally do. I went to go and start broadcasting, and nothing at all. And it wasn't even a matter it wasn't even the matter that I wasn't, my equipment wasn't working. I couldn't even connect to the website Spreaker on none of these computers. None of them. All three of them would not connect to the Spreaker account. So it was very, very strange. But anyway, we did manage to get it up and running. So
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. August 25th, 6th.
Ill prepared and...
Yeah, well,
having a rough start.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. It's better than not being on the air at all, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So...
We gotta give them something.
Yeah. So let's see. You have to bear with us again this morning, please, folks. I do apologize.
It's another me and him thing.
Yeah, it's just me and Hayden. Yeah, thank you, Daisy. We got it going, sweetie. Joseph's not in today, so it's just Hayden and I. And like I said, we just got the damn thing up and running. And I'm sure everybody out there is saying, well, get in there earlier. Make sure everything's working. Listen, people, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm in the studio by 6 o'clock in the morning getting this thing ready. And for an hour, I fought with it. I don't know what the hell happened. I can't explain it, but for an hour, I fought with it.
There's a lot of things we can control, and time is now.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true. I definitely think I'm going to rip the whole thing apart today.
Oof.
Yeah, and redo it. I'm not sure. Good morning, sweetheart. My oldest just walked into the studio. You can sit down. Hello. I'm trying to bring up news as we go here. I'm just going to go to our favorite Bay News 9 and we'll get some weather and traffic going for local Tampa Bay. I do apologize. You could sit right there. That microphone's not on. So, and now my other one's in here. Say good morning. No, in the microphone. Why not? Say it louder. Where's the music coming from? Oh, your butt. You got a musical hiney. What's up, honey? Why do you feel like caca-poo-poo? Yeah? Yeah, it's a family thing. We all do. All right, so let's see what we got. And, well, I'm on the air, sweetheart, so I really don't have time. What do you want? Well, get her up. Because I'm on the air. Thank you.
I'm going to talk there for 20 minutes.
Huh?
I'm leaving it going to talk for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway.
I can't have a conversation with myself.
Yeah, I know. It's like, might as well bring the dog in. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I have a better conversation with the dog than I do anybody that's here. How sad is that?
I like talking to a dog. He doesn't talk back.
Yeah, there's no argument there. Exactly. You know you win if there is an argument. You know what I'm saying? I mean... Oh, we are
the dog
pathetic.
starts arguing with me.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
You and I are getting in the car and driving off because that's
I'm
scary
gone,
shit
man.
right there, buddy.
Speaking of which, man, I had an interesting dream, which I'm still not even sure was a dream.
Oh, it was one of those?
I woke up at I don't know, it felt like a couple hours before I was supposed to wake up.
Tilt that bitch up just a hair at your mouth. You see I raised your seat and everything up, right? Yeah.
Well, I woke
Oh,
up
that's
a
so
little,
better.
little earlier than usual.
Right.
And I'm just laying there, and I don't know why I woke up, but something jumped off the dresser and landed on my legs and looked at me.
No. This is a dream.
I think it's a dream.
I
hope
it's a dream. Yeah, enough said. Otherwise, there's something going around your room that you gotta go searching for.
It looked at me, and then just disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
So I jumped up, flipped on the light switch, and looked around everywhere, and the dog's just looking at me like,
are you crazy, dude? What are you doing? It's early. Turn the light off. Dude, that's freaky. You know, it's, yeah, I hate when that happens, bro. Cannot stand that. That is so freaky. Look, I can't even figure out what mouse I'm supposed to grab this morning.
Just laid down and went back to sleep.
Yeah, that's freaky. You know, I hate this. I hate the dreams that are like that, but there is actually something on you. Those are scary. When you're dreaming about a spider crawling up across your face, and then you wake up and there was a big spider crawling across your face. Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up and it was this intense thing just looking at me.
That's freaky.
I was like, I'm not liking this.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
just stood there in shock. It looked like some demonic crap that you'd see in a movie.
Oh, let's call up Joseph on the air live. What do you say? We'll give him a call.
Yeah, sure.
What? What?
No,
You can say it. I don't care. What?
I know you.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Let's find out. Here we go. All right. We're calling Joseph to find out what's going on, by the way. See what he comes up with. If he even answers. So we got a guest caller calling in today.
Please leave your message for
Who would that be?
I'll be honest with you. I forgot he was even calling in, bro. I forgot to put it up on the website. I forgot to put it on the schedule. I forgot that I even booked it. Let me get the information up right here. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. Alrighty. Of course, I'm in the wrong email address.
I gotta read this off, and before I do,
Go ahead.
I want to ask how people like this get out of prison.
Go for it.
Only after 22 years. Alright, in Colombia, a former hitman for Pablo Escobar,
Yeah.
who himself confessed to hundreds of murders, as the head of the drug kingpin's army of assassins, was freed from prison on Tuesday amidst angry protests by his many alleged victims. John Jairo Velasquez, better known by his nickname Popeye, was released in the evening under heavy police surveillance from a maximum security prison northeast of Bogota. He had spent only 22 years behind bars for plotting the murder of a former presidential candidate.
22 years.
22 years for hundreds of murders and plotting the murder of a presidential candidate.
Must be nice.
And
There's no corruption there.
No, money didn't get him a real light sentence for all that.
Hell no. Although I would say Pablo Escobar had something to do with it, but that son of a bitch is dead. They killed his ass.
I wonder how big Pablo Escobar was, man.
He wasn't a tall man. You remember the movie Blow?
Yeah.
Yeah, they portrayed him as a big, tall man, and he wasn't. He
like his drug trade.
Oh my God, bro! If you and I were sitting in like the furthest point, let's say Alaska, the furthest point from Colombia, and he wanted you dead, you're dead. Yeah, Colombian drug lord, man. Yeah, from some of the documentaries that I've watched, and you know me with my damn documentaries, I love them. He was the most powerful drug lord there was. Yeah, unbelievable. The power, I mean, just the power is wicked. You know what I'm saying?
And he was the head of his army of assassins. Army of assassins.
Right.
Quote.
Right. That's scary, isn't it?
My source for this was Fox.
Fox News?
Yeah.
So we have Peter Hochstein is the gentleman's name, and this was the Heiress strangled in molten chocolate and Nazi sex orgy, a memoir, whatever that is. That's his book that he wrote. I honestly, I really don't even remember booking this. It's just, and I do apologize, Peter. I mean, I'm sure if I sent you an email to confirm it, we booked it, but I don't remember with everything that I got going on. Can I have some of that, Hayden? What's that?
Yeah, I brought it for that reason. I had some of that coffee there.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't remember. Like I said, guys, I apologize. Things get a little crazy around here. It's only me, you know what I mean? It's me taking care of all the technical stuff. I mean, Joseph's here in the mornings. Today's like the second time, so I really can't get pissed at Joseph. I have no reason to get pissed at Joseph. He's here every damn day. As you people know, we don't make any money at this yet. I do stress yet, because we are looking for sponsors. And we don't make any money at this, so I can't get mad at him at all. I really gotta thank him, because he's done a lot. And same with you, Hayden. You don't have to get up every morning. You don't have to be in here every morning, but you do. And the only reason you do is because I asked you. And to me, that, you know what I mean? That means a lot.
Yeah.
Because I've asked closer friends of mine to do lesser things and never heard back from them. You know what I'm saying? So.
It all depends on who's willing to actually help out when it comes to it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and I think you see, where I'm going with this. There's a lot of buzz. A lot of people are listening to us. I had a friend of mine, Marcy, that I was talking back and forth with yesterday. Who, I've known her since Felicia's a baby. When Red Lobster on 19 opened, we were the first crew that worked in there.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how long I know her.
You got me wanting Red Lobster.
Gross.
I like Red Lobster.
Yeah, until you work there and you realize how the shit's made.
I just like their biscuits.
Oh, I love their biscuits. Don't get me started on that. I used to make that shit. That's where I started actually. Was as the bread man.
It was damn good.
It was great. Oh my God. I was never hungry. I ate like a horse.
One for you guys.
Oh, and then like Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, I'd bring eggs in with me. And we'd buy bacon, and we'd make the first batch of biscuits. I'd cook up some eggs, some bacon, and we'd make bacon and egg biscuits at Red Lobster. Oh, yeah, everybody loved it. I was a good baker, too.
I'm not a very good baker, you know.
I was too stoned to keep the job, so. Yeah, you're a good baker. I don't want to hear that shit. You do it pretty good.
Anything that involves bread, I screw it up.
Well, bread's not easy. Without a bread machine, dude, I don't make it. I used to have a bread machine.
I mean, like cake.
You can make cake and stuff like that. You can't make cake and cupcakes?
No, man. That's
You ever
the one
tried?
thing I've tried. It's the one
Really?
thing I cannot make.
Oh my God, it's so easy.
I can't make baked goods.
Really?
Really.
Bread's about the only thing that, if I got to actually hand roll the dough and all of that kind of shit, I don't think I could do it.
I can't even make. I cook like a champ.
Yes, you do.
When it comes to baking anything, I gotta make someone else do it.
That statement you made is 100% true. You do cook damn good, buddy. Damn good. Because we've eaten a few times that you've cooked, and we've eaten good.
I like to make it the good food. Someone else got to do the baking.
Yeah. So, like I said, we got this Peter Hochstein calling in about 9 o'clock this morning. And we're going to talk about his book, which is, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, it's Hearus, Strangled in Molten Chocolate at Nazi Sex Orgy. That is his book. Yeah. That's what caught my eye about it. I'll be honest with you.
It's got an interesting title.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. Because usually, you know me, if it ain't something really freaking off the wall, I don't want to know about it. So I'm going to put the title of the book up on our Facebook page right now. You're into football.
Oh, yeah, I love football.
Do you like arena football?
No, not really.
All right, well, I watched that Fourth and Loud last night.
Did you?
That Kiss's new football team.
Yeah, that's either hit or miss.
What a joke, dude.
Just miss.
Listen, I love Kiss, and I've loved Kiss since I'm a kid. And that's because of Peter Marvin, Richard Autorino, my sister, Kenny Savateri. All these dudes that my sister hung out with were all Kiss heads. Just total. Even Richard, he's still into it. If you go to Richard's Facebook page,
yeah.
He's got a cartoon character of Gene Simmons. He's totally infatuated. And the funny part about it is, Richard's family was complete Jehovah Witness type. Maybe not Jehovah, but very, very strict religious. If you said shit in the house, oh my God, his mother would be talking in tongues, trying to forgive you or something. So it was really like an oxymoron for him, to be in a rock band or, to like all of this. But anyway, staying on point, I watched the show yesterday, and I got to say, Gene, Paul, they're reaching now. Gene and Paul are definitely reaching for money now. I think they realize that the concerts and all of that shit are coming to an end, and they need a new cash cow.
They could have gone about it in a way better manner than they did.
Bro, they got massive, massive money with merchandising and endorsements and all of that shit. They needed a football team.
Everybody knows who Kiss is.
Oh, yeah. You go to any country.
Kids nowadays,
they
know who Kiss is.
Hell yeah.
They could find a way better way to make money than a half-ass attempt to bring football back to Los Angeles.
It was a joke, dude. I was really disappointed watching it.
I mean, they could have done a fundraiser or something. A bunch of football fans would have definitely paid to have another team.
Yeah.
Have a stadium
Not
built out there.
sponsoring. You know what? I don't know. It was just a big show is really all it was. They put on a little...
They didn't put any money into that. They just pitched it to a TV company.
No, they're partners with some other dude. It's Gene, Paul, and some other guy who are partners on the team. They're footing the bills.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're invested, but I don't, I just don't see it going as far as they think it's going to. After watching the show yesterday, I wasn't impressed, So I'd really like to see the ratings.
I mean, they should have looked at other people's attempts at that. Yeah. There was a better one where a bunch of hot chicks were playing arena football, and that didn't even make it very far.
No, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. No, it didn't
made
make
it
far.
Maybe 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather watch that.
Oh, hell yeah, man. The chicks are pulling each other's pants down and shit.
Man, they were wearing cheerleader outfits playing football.
Hell yeah. Now, you want to do a Kiss team like that, you put a big old set of lips on the vagina and on the bathing suit,
That might have made money with Kiss's name on it. And a bunch of hot
That would have made a lot of money, I gotta say. That is for sure.
But I'd rather watch that than their Kiss man football team.
Yeah. And the coach was an asshole, man. He grabbed one of the players and like shoved him off the field and shit, or whatever he did to him. If that was me, I would have knocked him out. I'm sorry. Coach touches me now at the age I'm at now. Yeah, with the type of attitude I have now, nah, somebody's getting hit. I don't care. Somebody's getting punched in the face. And that goes for anybody, really. I won't be disrespected ever again.
I'm not hugely one to brush off someone disrespecting me. Usually, it turns into me swinging.
Well, if you do, and I learned it the hard way growing up, you let people disrespect you, they'll do it your whole life. Next thing you know, you're one of those kids that got the list on the wall, like an Adam Sandler. When he calls a guy up, I'm so sorry for being, back in high school, and he crosses his name off the list. What movie was that I'm thinking of now? Damn. Poor Daisy. She freaking messaged me this morning, and because I was fighting with my computer system, I bit her head off. Daisy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bite your head off this morning. You have to understand. I am not medicated. I have anger issues when I'm not medicated, and when my computer system doesn't freaking cooperate with me, and I have no idea why, it's very aggravating. You seen how I fixed it, right? I grabbed the wires and I shook them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that did anything.
Pretty intense morning for him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I don't think that did anything. I'll be honest with you.
It probably didn't.
No, I know it didn't. But I don't know what happened, man. I didn't even have any internet. Nothing. Well, I can connect to Facebook. That was all I can go on. Google wouldn't come up. Spreaker wouldn't come up. I went to Bay News 9 wouldn't come up. I went to an old website that I used to use for my auto transporting business. That wouldn't come up. I'm like, what the hell? So I went around. I'm sure you heard me slamming doors. I disconnected the what is it, the freaking router, the modem, you know what I mean? I disconnected everything, plugged it back in. I shut both systems down. We went live, and then it died. It just completely... Your audio was coming through. Mine wasn't. So
yeah.
I'm not too sure what's going on. But I just got a message from Daisy. I think she heard my apology. Yes, she did. Thank you, Daisy. I'm glad. Yeah, she helps us out quite a bit. Daisy is a girl that I went to school with, that my wife and I hear you guys loud and clear. I forgive you because I understand, she said. My wife and I went to school with her, and she was one of the first girls that I met here in Spring Hill. I started hanging out with her, and she introduced me to a bunch of dirtbags. Not that that was her fault, you know what I'm saying? But that was all that was available at the time. But, yeah, so, and then, 20-something years later, God, it's got to be more than 20 years. But, anyway, moving on to some news. We have, what is it, what the hell's his name now? Scott and Chris, the Charlie Chris and the Rick Scott election. It looks like Rick Scott's going to be the governor for Florida.
Was it?
What?
Wasn't he already?
I don't follow that shit, but
Me neither.
yeah.
I don't even know my own state.
Yeah, you know why? Just because they're both corrupt. So
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is.
I think it was Charlie Chris. I don't even know. I don't want to give out any false information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people are not happy that this guy's going to be back in office. That's for sure. My computer keeps dying here. Oh. Keeps going on to screensaver. Yeah, let me shut it down. It's my laptop. What is that? Yeah, so I know a lot of people are not happy at all. At all. Oh, we got a little chat going on over here. Let's see who's talking. It's Daisy telling me yes. Laugh out loud. Yeah, so I know a lot of people aren't happy. I know my wife wasn't happy last night when she heard it. So
Heard.
yeah, the election results. I know she wasn't happy. I gotta stop saying I keep noticing that. I say a lot. Child injured in Tampa carport fire.
A carport fire?
Yeah, it's a video. So let's see. Excuse me. All right, so around 3:15 p.m., Tampa fire rescue crews responded to a home at the 3000 block of Crescent Avenue and found a car parked in the carport fully engulfed in flames. They extinguished the fire in about a half hour. A child was injured outside of the home where the car caught fire under the carport Tuesday afternoon, authorities said. Fire rescue, same thing I just read. The car was parked in the carport. Fire was extinguished in about a half hour. In seconds, it just got really big, and I started getting the ceiling more, said neighbor so-and-so. Then after we got everybody out of the car, pretty much blew up. Oh, wow, that would suck. That would really suck. I thought there was a... Oh, there it is. Okay. We have a video of it, so I'm going to try and pull it up, see what kind of audio's on it here. And there is no audio on it. Wow. That's always good. Are we even plugged in? Yep. Alrighty then. I don't know why there's no audio on it. You would think there'd be audio on it. Alright. So, moving right along. Moving right along. What else? Judge sentenced Kyle Williams to life in prison. Who's Kyle Williams?
Yep, that's the first I'm hearing of it.
Yes, Kyle Williams. A jury recommended that Kyle Williams have life in prison without the possibility of parole for killing officer Armulfo Crispin. Wow. This is in Bartow. Killing a Lakeland police officer. He was sentenced to life in prison. Yeah, but when the police officers kill innocent citizens, they don't get sentenced to nothing. They get administrative leave, and they whatchamacallit, they get administrative leave, and you know, they get time off and paid for it. Your sister's in there. Wake your mother up. I told you I'm live. All right? I'll make you a deal. I'll turn the show over to Hayden, and I'll help you. But you have to come and say, good morning, everyone. This is Angela. Well, everybody knows your name. Because I say it all the time. I have nothing to hide. You're my daughter. I'm trying to convince my daughter to get on air here. She won't. She wants me to go help her with her hair for 15 seconds. Huh? I didn't read it all. I read it all, but I didn't read it on the air. What? Huh? Yeah, well, that's because they're cuckoo. Let's see. So I just got a message from Hayden. He's like, if you leave, can you put on music, please? My stomach's messed up. Oh, that's funny. Ange.
Talk about talking shit.
Yeah, right? I can't right now, honey. I have to get Mommy to help. Is she awake? Okay, well, she needs to get up.
Here, I'll text Felicia and get her to do it.
Go help the girl, Daddy. That's what Daisy just wrote. Go help the girl, Daddy. Thanks, Daisy. Yeah, I have no music loaded. I have nothing ready. I'm ill prepared. That sucks. But I can't say no to that beautiful little face. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to YouTube.
Yeah, let's get some new music.
Yeah, and I'm going to put something on for a few minutes. And back is freaking itchy.
And then when we get back, I got an article to read.
You do?
I do.
Very nice. Yeah, we'll only be out for a few minutes here. Speaking of Kiss, what do we say we play some Kiss? What do you think?
Why not?
Okay.
Everybody likes to hear some music.
Yeah, I think so.
Of variety.
I think so. This is off the Destroyer album, and it's actually the whole Destroyer album. So
maybe one day soon we can replace the music with advertising.
Yeah, right.
We'll have our commercial breaks like every other show does.
Enough said. I don't know if you ever heard this song. This is Detroit Rock City. This is the original. Excuse me. Daisy says rock and roll. All night, party every day. All right, we'll be right back, folks. I'm going to let this music play, and we'll be right back with you. By the way, this is Kiss off the album Destroyer, and I'm just going to let the album play for a little bit, because we'll be right back. Yeah, baby. And now, some more Kiss, King of the Nighttime World.
It's so sad living at home, far from the city, and the midnight fog. It's so bad going to school, so far from me and the dirty things that we do. I'm the king of the nighttime world, and you're mine.
Yes, I like to sing into the microphone. Sorry.
King of the nighttime world. Live your secret dream. It's so fine, loving with ease, far from the house and the family fights. It's so fine, being with you, being with me, makes everything alright. I'm the king of the nighttime world, and you're mine, and I'm free. I'm the king of the nighttime world. Come, live your secret dream, alright. So sad, you're not the same, far from the music and the neon glow ain't you glad? We got the time, far from my home, they'll never ever know. I'm the king of the nighttime world, and you're mine, and I'm free. I'm the king of the nighttime world. Come on, live your secret dream. I'm the king. 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 I'm the king of the nighttime world. And you're mine, and I'm free. I'm the king of the nighttime world. Come, live your secret dream. I'm the king of the nighttime world. You're mine, and I'm free. I'm the king of the nighttime world. Come, live your secret dream. I'm the king of the nighttime world. You're mine, and I'm free. I'm the king of the nighttime world.
We are listening to Kiss Destroyer album, and that's just because we're taking a break, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's early in the show, but we're the only ones here, so enjoy a little music this morning. And if you have any requests, you want to hear anything, I'll be glad to put it on. So go ahead and hit us up on Spreaker or Facebook.com/Talk Shit TV Show, or you can call in at 352-410-2084. God of Thunder and Rock and Roll. All right, you're listening to Kiss the Destroyer album, and we'll be back in a little bit. I love this song. Makes me just want to turn my mic up and sing it. He said breast. Feel what my fingers can do.
And you wish you were the one I was doing it to. Well, listen, you got great expectations. You got great expectations. You're dying to be seen, and you wave and call my name. But imminent it seems that I'm a million miles away. You watch me beating my drum, and you know what my hands can do. And you wish you were the one I was doing it to. Well, listen, you got great expectations. You got great expectations. You got great Then you feel these eyes from the stage, and you see me staring at you, and you hear between the lines, my voice is calling to you. Well, listen, do you wanna play the role? You even sell me your soul.
All right, I'm going to switch it up a little, and we're going to go over to the Doors now.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah. We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there. Can you still recall
and any requests, we'll take them and I'll play it this morning. We'll be back in a little bit with some more talk shit.
Right now we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on 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 fire.
Holy shit, it was the pause of the song, and I didn't see anything, so I panicked. Sorry, folks. Some more Doors. We'll be right back with some more talk shit. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 1 time, could not speak. Love me 1 time, yeah, my knees got weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Lost me all through. Love me 1 time, could not speak. Love me 1 time, baby. Yeah, my knees got weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Lost me all through the week. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, babe. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, babe. 'Cause I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, girl. 1 for tomorrow, 1 just for today. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. And you're still on the air listening to Talk Shit, and we're playing a little music so we can get a little situated here. So, like I said, we'll be back in a little bit with more Talk Shit. You're listening to The Doors.
Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name?
Yeah, baby, I love
Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. She's walking down the street, blind to every eye she meets. Do you think you'll be the guy to make the your side. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. She holds her head so high, like a statue in the sky. Her arms are wicked and her legs are long. When she moves, my brain screams out this song. Hello.
I love doing that.
Like a dog that begs for something sweet. Do you hope to make her see you full? Do you hope to lock this dusty jewel? Hello, 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 hello. I want to hello.
And you're listening to Talk Shit Radio, and that was a little bit of Kiss and a little bit of the Doors. And we're back now, live, talking shit. What's up? Yep, you look good, baby. I like that.
Do.
Looks cute. Yeah. Oh, and you got your black Vans, too? Huh. I wish everybody could see this. She looks cute. But anyway, we're back live with Talk Shit. I love you, baby. You going now? All right. We are back on the air live with Talk Shit, and we had a little technical difficulties this morning. Marcy, welcome. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And yeah, we had some technical difficulties. Nobody was ready this morning, and I apologize for that. That's why we're just playing some music. Plus, it's actually a little bit of a test drive, I think. Excuse me, a little bit of a test drive to see how the music goes over. Now, Hayden, I know you got something you wanted to read, so.
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
All right, go for it.
First of all, this is going to be number one because it pisses me off. And before I even get into this, if you're gonna have a kid, well, if you're worried, all you're worried about is your social life and going out and partying, and you're gonna be an irresponsible parent, get on some birth control, wear a condom. I don't care what it takes. If you are not ready to be a parent, then don't be. You can't have a kid and then disband that responsibility because you want to go out and party.
Yeah, in other words, if you have a kid, your responsibility to that kid comes before going out to the bar and getting drunk and passing out in the damn car.
Yeah, because we got this lady in Bristol, Connecticut, who is 22
Do we have a
years
name?
old.
Let's put her on blast.
Her name is Kelsey James, 22 years old, went to the bar to drink with friends, and because it's such an inconvenience, she left her 2-year-old toddler in the car while she went inside and drank and then passed out in the bar.
That's so freaking pathetic, dude.
You can't find. You can afford to drink, but you can't afford to pay a babysitter $20 or $30 to watch a kid for the night while you go out.
Yeah.
And you drive your car there. Obviously, if she didn't pass out, she's gonna get back in that car and drive home with a friggin' 2-year-old in the car.
Isn't that sad?
What's going on with people, man?
Priorities. I guess the kids are more important. I mean, the alcohol's more important than the kids. I'm sorry, but my kids are the most important thing in my life. I would give up everything I had. And you know that, Hayden. You've been here. You've seen. I'll fight to the death for my kids. Doesn't matter what it is. Never would I leave my kid in the car like that. The only time I leave my kid in the car, I do it now.
Oh, they're old enough to
Exactly.
open a freaking door and
Right.
let some air in.
Exactly. If she gets too cold, she turns the AC down. If she gets too hot, you know what I mean? Whatever.
And these people, like, look, you're saying you leave them in the car with the keys in, car running, you can put on the AC, put on the heat, listen to some music, and it's not like you got any kids that aren't teenagers.
Yeah, exactly.
2 years old.
That's ridiculous. 2 years old. The kid can't do nothing.
At 2 years old, you're not self-reliant at all in any way. There's no independence there. You have to have someone. You gotta have constant attention.
Instead of worrying about all of this other bullshit, we should have stricter laws on shit like that.
And 2 years old is old enough to move around in the car and eat some change. And if they're sitting out in the car, who the hell is gonna find them?
You know, I didn't even think about that. God forbid the kid swallows, you drop a quarter or a penny or something on the floor and the kid swallows that, chokes to death in the car.
Yeah.
How you going to feel then?
Kid's gonna get bored. It's gonna want to play with stuff, man.
Yep.
It's the nature of children.
How are you going to feel then when that happens? You know what I mean? That's bad. That would destroy me, dude.
Yeah.
That would absolutely destroy me.
I've seen stuff happen right in front of my face, and if I wasn't there with my nephews at their young ages, if I wasn't there or even paying attention, I would have been responsible for something terrible.
Yeah. It's messed up. That's one thing I have no tolerance for whatsoever is anything like that is a form of child abuse.
It
just cut
it should
out.
be
What do you mean it just cut out, Daisy? It shouldn't have cut out. We're going. We're live. I got my signal. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. All right, well, if anybody else is experiencing the same things and cutouts and stuff like that, then please let me know. No, I still got audio. Listen. It shouldn't have cut out. See? We're going. We're live. I got my signal. This is cool. I can go testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Watch this. Testing 1. All right, well, if anybody else is experiencing the same things and cutouts and stuff like that, then please let me know. No, I still got audio. Listen. It shouldn't have cut out. See? This is fun. We're going. We're live. I got my signal. This is cool. I can go testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. It's buggy, isn't it? I mess people all up. They'd be like, "Hey, didn't we hear that before?"
Was that two of you?
No, she said it cut out when you were talking. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
yeah, I don't know. He probably moved his face from the mic. Well,
Yeah.
I got to change your mic, bro. We're gonna take that mic, put it over there by you, and this way, if anybody else comes in the studio, they can choke on that one.
21 years old, man. I'm not good at not moving around, especially with all this coffee in me.
Yeah, right. God,
feel
by
like-
the end of the show, bro, I am like wired from all the coffee.
I'll be up running a marathon after this ends.
Yeah, but then come like 12, 1 o'clock, I'm passing out on the
man.
couch. Yep.
Happens to me almost every time.
Yep.
It's not like I don't get enough sleep either.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is life after this?
Yeah, right? What is life after this? Oh, that's too funny. So, all right, I had, let's see. I had something here. I don't even know if there's any audio to it. I'm not sure why the audio on that is not playing. Oh, okay, because I have to turn it up. This is another ice bucket challenge from Mike Damon with toilet water for 800 million people without clean H2O. So, as soon as the commercial's over.
Okay. Hi, this is Matt Damon. This is my Ice Bucket Challenge. Ben Affleck and Jimmy Kimmel challenged me, so it took me a while to get back, so I got to pay the fine, which I will definitely do. It took me more than 24 hours, which was one of the rules. But it posed kind of a problem for me, not only because there's a drought here in California, but because I co-founded Water.org, and we envision the day when everybody has access to a clean drink of water, and there are about 800 million people in the world who don't, and so dumping a clean bucket of water on my head seemed a little crazy. So we also want to bring adequate sanitation to the 2.4 billion people on planet Earth who don't have it. So I thought a good thing to do to kind of tie those things together would be to take some toilet water. This is truly toilet water. I've been collecting it from various toilets around that house. And now, for those of you like my wife who think this is really disgusting, keep in mind that the water in our toilets in the West is actually cleaner than the water that most people in the developing world have access to. So as disgusting as this may seem, hopefully it'll highlight the fact that this is a big problem, and together we can do something about it. So I'm happy to take the challenge. Help knock out ALS, I'm all for that. For more information about the clean water crisis, sanitation crisis, please visit us at water.org. Ben Affleck and Jimmy Kimmel, this is for you. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. God,
See, now that's what I'm saying, man.
I got it. Oh, yeah. George Clooney. George Clooney, my favorite actor. Bono, my favorite musician. And Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. You guys are my 3 ice bucket challenges. Go get them and good luck.
See, that's pretty cool because, you know, he spelled it out. You know, there's a water shortage out there. You know, there's water shortages all over the damn country. And I commend them for that. I like that. So,
Agreed.
Yep. And Daisy just informed me that she has family out in California that doesn't have any water. So that's a big issue out there in Cali is the drought and just wasting that water. And that was one of the reasons why I refused to do the Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint anybody, but I'm not going to waste any water. It's a complete and utter waste. You want to raise awareness, vote yes when it comes to legalization of cannabis all over the nation, because cannabis helps with ALS. And, do like Matt Damon did and go scoop the water out of your toilet. Now, depending on your hygiene and how clean your house is, you might want to think about that. I know my buddy Mikey could have scooped the water out of his mother's toilet because that house is clean. Yeah, he's gotten so drunk before that he's washed his face out in the toilet. Come clean my house, she says. Yeah, kiss my ass. I ain't cleaning your house. Daisy says, come clean my house. That's Mikey's mom. She will too. She's unreal when it comes to cleaning.
You know how we were talking about awesome news? And we need some awesome news? I got some awesome news.
Go for it. Let's hear some awesome news. We need some.
All right. U.S. and British Special Forces forming Hunter Killer as a unit to obliterate ISIS.
Good.
Task Force Black will aim to cut the head off the snake by hitting the command structure of the Islamic terrorist group responsible for a trail of destruction. Elite British and U.S. Special Force troops are forming a hunter-killer unit called Task Force Black. Its orders smash the Islamic State. The undercover warriors will aim to cut the head off the snake by hitting the command structure of the Islamic terror group responsible for the trail of atrocities across Iraq and Syria. They're saying that the airstrikes just won't do it because they're only killing the foot soldiers.
Right.
So they're gonna form that little elite army to go in there and hit their command structure.
Good. It's about time they did something. Because this shit can't go on unanswered. Wasn't it you that brought it up to my attention yesterday about our southern borders along the whole southern states of the United States, how they can just come up through Mexico, or was that Joseph?
It was Joseph saying they have been coming through Mexico. Yeah,
he made a great point. You know, I mean, if illegals are coming in free and clear and staying here, what's going to stop a terrorist to come up through Mexico? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And we already have their little ISIS training camps.
Right.
Which, if there's a flag flying, that's obviously an ISIS flag.
Yeah.
And
don't you think we have a responsibility as a nation to destroy it?
All right. What do you do now? I know this sounds the opposite, and it sounds counterproductive. But if let's say a fire breaks out in here, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put it out before it gets bigger, right?
Right.
Why don't we put out that fire? I just don't understand.
Very good point. I didn't know where you were going with the fire at first, but very good point. It's true. You know, look at what happened with the Branch Davidians. Okay, you were probably too young to remember David Koresh and when the FBI attacked him in Waco, Texas. Yes, David Koresh was a maniac. All right, but his ideal, or his idea, or his concept for this Branch Davidian thing was all about peace. That's what it was about. So, I mean, when it comes to that, I agree with you there. We should put the fire out before it turns into a blaze. Right now it's a little brush fire.
Right.
We should put it out before the whole neighborhood's on fire. Hypothetically speaking.
In our own backyard, it could spread like a wildfire.
Yeah,
burn our
absolutely.
house down.
Yeah. Yep. Come back and bite the government in the ass, and then they'll be.
Because I, for one, don't want them to cause us to have to live in fear in our own, what we thought was safe country.
Yep.
And I think it'd be a little ridiculous because we would lose a lot of freedoms if
Mhm.
something like that happened. They'd crack down on us.
They
would take it out on us,
absolutely.
even though it's their fault.
And that's part of the problem with having these groups and all of this bullshit in this country is we live in a free country. We can travel from state to state without having papers.
Yeah.
There are no borders between states. Stuff like that. They continue this, it's going to happen. What's up, baby doll? You back in? I got an idea. I want you to get on that microphone right there where Joseph sits, and I want you to tell people. Please? My daughter, and remember, no F word. My daughter has a little message for you drivers out there. I'm going to bring up the microphone so you can hear her. She's got to go to school, so just talk into that microphone nice and clear. Let me hear you. Hello?
Just act like you're talking to me.
Say something, Ange.
Hi.
Okay. That is my daughter, Angela, and she has a message for all the drivers out there that are driving around. Go ahead, Ange. Go ahead, tell.
Okay.
Into the microphone.
I just really want to say, just be careful because mostly I have a lot of my friends and I have my family walking home and I don't want to see them get hurt, and also I don't want to get hurt either because yesterday I almost got hit by a car twice, and also my bus almost got into a car accident. So I'm just saying, please watch out and be safe, and for our safety and your safety, because really, I know that you guys don't want to be in the hospital either, but
She certainly doesn't want to, and doesn't want any of her friends to be in the hospital because somebody was futzing around while they were driving, right?
texting and driving.
Yeah. Yep. It's a big thing. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. So there you have it. That was my daughter, Angela. We're trying to, get that message across for people to slow down. These kids are standing on the bus stop, and if you're driving down the road, whether you're doing 30 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, if you're texting and driving and you're going around a turn, somebody's getting hurt. And I'll tell you right now,
you hit someone that I care about.
You're
and
dead.
the last thing you worry about is jail.
Yeah, I'm telling you
yeah.
right now. Especially if you were texting and driving. My daughter said it. For your own safety and theirs. Because I'm not the only parent out there that'll kill you. I guarantee you that. So, thank you, Angela. I appreciate that.
Back to the fire spreading in our backyard. It's getting to a ridiculous point to where I looked up just to make sure the ISIS flag was what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And they're selling T-shirts written out in English with the flag on it. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting real ridiculous. This crap's getting out of hand.
Wasn't there an Islamic flag that was put over the Brooklyn Bridge, too?
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, you smell good, honey. What is that? Her perfume. It's a little much, though.
She said, "Stay alive, don't text and drive."
Stay alive, don't text and drive. That's true. There you go. Because I catch you texting and driving and you hit somebody I know. You can just put that, baby.
I'll tell you, man.
Daisy, Angie's typing on the board right now. That was Angela typing back to you, Dave.
I won't hesitate. I won't hesitate to protect myself and others from a domestic threat to mine or others' lives.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, and it's getting to a point. Who do they think they are? We're free enough to where they can come and train exactly where they want to strike.
Yeah.
And then we gotta have this sense to protect ourselves. But if let's say a group of people were to right in there, find out what was going on with them and take them out themselves because our military is not doing anything about it, of course I'm sure they're watching them.
Yeah.
But instead of that being commended, they would all go to prison.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they would have religious crimes or some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Hate crime.
Hate crime or something like that.
conspiracy.
Yeah, right. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. They have no business being in this country. And if you want to be in this country, you certainly have to abide by our rules. We all do. You know, every American citizen here abides by the rules, whether you know it or not. You live by the rules of the government. So what makes them any different? And they should suffer the same fate that you and I would. You know,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was loud. If you and I went out and we started a militant group and started, talking shit against our government, what do you think would happen? FBI would come and pound the freaking door down and take us all to jail, and they'd never see us again. You'd be like, Hayden who? Lou who? Who is that?
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't remember them guys.
See, but one thing I'm proud of is I don't have to be in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I can go fight in Iraq right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How?
I'm not going to get in any trouble. They have militant groups that do it all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's just getting there is the problem.
Yeah, we got to pay that way.
Right.
Which, if I had the money, I would.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I would have went there a long time and put a rifle in my hand. Me, though, I'm that type of guy that has that real high-powered rifle and is, like, real far from the fighting with that really big scope and the spotter next to me. Just popping targets, man. That's the kind of shooter I am.
I'm pretty tactical myself.
I don't like to...
I'd have to be in it, though.
Yeah, see, even when we played paintball, I was always that one, me and my team sniper, I always stayed with him because him and I were the sneakiest bastards, and we used to laugh because Paulie, as old as he is, you old fart, if you didn't watch him from the time the referee went go, if you didn't watch Paulie, the next time you seen him and Clay, our sniper, were behind you. It was badass, man. We were sneaky bastards. But that would be exactly how I would be, you know what I mean? I would not, I'm not going to engage you one-on-one. You're never even going to see me. You're just going to hear pop after the bullet hits you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done fast, too, If we don't, we're going to have war in our own streets, and I've been saying it. I mean, they're going to deploy, they're going to declare martial law, and we're going to be fighting in our own streets. You going to school, baby doll?
You know why a civil war would destroy us?
You're welcome. What's that?
You know why a civil war would destroy us? And I use that term pretty loosely because a fight in our own backyard would technically be a civil war because most of the people we'd be fighting, believe it or not, people, you got to open your eyes, are foreign citizens of our country. They've gained citizenship.
Yep.
And that they're what you call a ghost here.
Sleepers.
Sleepers, right.
Yep.
And people, we got a bunch of soft-ass people in this country who are activists. Oh, human rights, blah, blah, blah.
Everybody equal rights to religion, equal rights to the... Equal rights? Are you freaking kidding me? This is the greatest nation in the world.
And it was formed by people who are not pussies, and you pussies are running our country into the ground.
Thank you very much. Yes, very true.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If, when my parents were alive, and same with your parents, although your parents are a lot younger than my parents, but, your parents are more like my age, really.
Yeah,
right?
About a generation ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad's what, 8, 9 years older than me?
No, he's 56.
Oh,
No,
wow.
sorry, 51, yeah.
Oh, wow. So he is. Yeah, he's 4, 5, 6 years older than me. So,
Yeah.
he grew up just ahead of me. I caught all the tail end of the bullshit that he was, you know what I mean?
Just like the people after you.
Right. My point to that is, if that shit went on when he was our age, and it just wouldn't go on.
No,
the country was different back then. When my parents, you got to remember, I was born in 1970. When I was born, my mother was 40-something years old, 30-something years old.
Yeah.
We're talking, long time ago. This shit wouldn't happen.
No.
No way. The government wouldn't stand for it. The people wouldn't stand for it. Government, like you said, government has gone soft since then.
It's not even just government.
It's the people.
It's the people who don't see what's really going on in this
Yep.
world. It's a dog-eat-dog thing.
Yeah.
We got to have our dominance. We got to protect that dominance.
Absolutely.
And it all boils down to the nature of things. It doesn't matter how smart we are. It doesn't matter anything. People are going to kill for things that they want.
Yeah.
And that means countrywide. That means you don't have just one tiger running around eating gazelle and protecting itself. No, you have
The pride.
a pride.
Right.
You got a pack of wolves. You got very few animals that are independent because it's easier to work as a team. And you know
Yep.
what? They're all on the same page.
Yeah.
All those animals are there for the same reason.
They work as a unit. They work together as a unit. And I mean, that's the key right there, I mean, if
It boils right down
Yep.
to nature.
Yeah.
And we got to have a little bit more primitive nature in us to survive on this planet. And I'm coming from a generation born into war.
Yeah.
And
it's only going to get worse. Your kids, okay, might be born in the dark.
Yeah.
With look at these apocalyptic movies. I mean, here's a perfect example. Yes, it's an old movie, but Escape from New York. It was about an apocalyptic situation. New York City was a prison. The Manhattan Island was turned into a prison because of the way that the world changed and everything went, But if you look at the way that they were animals, that's the way it's going to be, You're not going to be able to go out at night because there's going to be no law. It's going to be
this day
bad.
and age, if you look at the world, everybody's fighting for something.
Yeah.
And we've had world wars before, and I don't truly classify them as world wars. I know that a world war is multiple countries.
Right. Yeah.
But we're looking at a world war, true to its meaning.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are blind to this, and they're leading these programs and these activities and being activists to the point where, oh, peace, peace. There is no peace.
No.
No, there's no peace.
No, everybody's too busy fighting for something, what we're fighting for, what a lot of people are fighting for, is not the right thing. We should be fighting for our freedom again.
We all have an animalistic nature deep down inside of us that really runs how we work.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and think differently. You can have separate thoughts because we do have independent thinking.
Yeah. That's what makes this country so great.
Yeah. But we all have to be on the same page with something. People trying to take away these gun rights. What's going to happen when you dumbasses have no guns and we get invaded and the only thing you got is a military, someone comes up in your house, and you have no way to protect yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the military can protect you to an extent.
Right.
The police forces can protect you to an extent.
Yep.
But what happens when someone makes their way in your house, shoots your family, and then kills you? How are you going to protect yourself? And it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are idiots.
You know what? I read an article about how in certain countries the government doesn't want its civilians to have weapons because they're afraid of the civilians taking over with their weapons. My true belief, and this is my opinion, I'll say it again, I've said it before, opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one. Our government does not want us to have weapons because they're afraid of the same thing. because we're getting tired of the way our government is running things. Me personally, not that I'm trying to promote civil war or anything like that, but it needs to happen again.
I'm not saying this to be an asshole, and I'm not saying this to call people pussies and stuff. And I'm also not saying that I want this to happen, but no matter if we have guns or not, you're not going to get a group of people together that are going to have the balls to go after a police force because they know what the next step is. Military moving in on you. It's not going to happen. So what does the government think we're going to do? We're not going to face, even if we wanted to, there's more military out there, more police out there than there is us.
Well, we outnumber the police forces, but they outarm us because the military has supplied them.
They're both controlled by the same people.
Yeah.
So, what's to make people think that, like in Ferguson, there's proof of it right there.
Right.
The police wasn't doing enough. Sorry. My grammar's a little off today.
That's all right.
They weren't doing enough, and so they had the National Guard step in. Things calmed down a pretty good amount when the National Guard stepped in. Now imagine if they were trying to fight with guns, how quickly they would have been eradicated.
Yeah, exactly. Because there would have been no peaceful solution.
You have 1 in 10,000 civilians that has the licensing capabilities to have an automatic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And every militant person has an automatic weapon. We've got drones. We've got all this warfare.
I got a drone. I'll see you coming from 5 miles away. You know, I mean, if there's a situation like that, and I do have to watch out, you can believe that puppy's going up in the air and hovering over my house.
Yeah, but your drone doesn't shoot cruise missiles.
This is true. But that's one of the fears that the FAA has about a drone like mine. What does it take to put, a mechanical lobster claw on it and build a what would you call it? I would say a dirty bomb or maybe an IED.
IED.
Yeah, okay. For those of you that don't know what that means, it's a
improvised explosive device.
Improvised explosive device.
And that's just that. It's in its name, improvised.
It could be anything.
Right. It costs you $1,000. Their missiles are so sophisticated.
Millions of dollars, yeah.
They have a missile. I could be in a bunker under this house.
Yeah.
And they could put that missile through everything, 6 foot of concrete bunker, get in there and just destroy it from the inside out.
Yep. For those of you that don't remember the Gulf War, when we were dropping those bunker busters, those people had bunkers, like he said, with the roof over their head, on top of being 6 to 8 feet in the ground. Okay, the concrete roof was 4 feet thick, rebar and reinforced concrete. Those bunker busters went straight on through that shit, cut through it like it was nothing. And then the funny part is, some of them were followed by a cruise missile.
Oh yeah.
So they'd send the bunker buster and then the cruise missile right down the same hole.
I've seen what a cruise missile can do.
Holy shit, bro.
Those things are intense. There's I don't know what the government's afraid of, but I know that most of the gun control going on in this country, because I know the government's not afraid of us.
They can't be, dude. They're
not afraid of us. No matter how
we're not going to take over the Pentagon. No matter how hard you try, you're not getting it.
No,
guys.
you're not.
You're not getting in the White House.
No,
ain't happening.
Not gonna happen.
There's only one way that's going to happen, and if the people on the inside let us in.
Yeah, you'd have to have inside people.
Absolutely.
Now look at it this way: it's not our government taking our guns for their own personal sake. It's the way people vote.
Yeah.
It's our independent voters because, they're scared of their kids getting guns.
Right, yeah.
Everything's influenced in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And the government wants to be people pleasers so that they can get in there, and that's when they do their dirty work.
Yep.
But we're the ones who get them where they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for us, there'd be no government. And I read the Constitution, the original Constitution, quite a bit. And it was written by the people, for the people. And it clearly states that, the government has limited control. And I want to find the part and quote it, but do you know how long it would take me to find that specific part?
Yeah.
If I had Mr. Minardi, Michael Minardi, on the phone, he's a constitutional lawyer. He would tell us.
Yeah.
You know, but it clearly states that the Constitution was written, and the government was formed to not control the people, you know, but to help the people. And we control the government. You know, we dictate what the government says, and it's not like that anymore because the government is so insecure about its own borders now. It's really sad. It really is. What is their definition of infringement? Huh? Daisy, explain that to me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give us a
Yeah,
little
she
more
just sent
detail.
me, infringement on rights or I don't know.
It's all right. They do have their helping hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
They campaign for what is the majority vote. Like, if you vote me in, we're gonna get more gun control.
Yeah.
Or if you vote me in, I'll help on Amendment 2.
Right, sort of
Sure.
like what Charlie Chris is saying, or one of these politicians is saying.
Right.
If you vote me in, I'll make sure that Florida changes, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Who the hell? Wake up, people. This is the biggest freak. Politicians are the biggest liars there are.
It's all a way to get themselves into office. So
Yep.
you can make more money and be a public figure. And I got a message for the pussies who have allowed their state to get to a point where you can't even protect yourself with a firearm. You're going to be really wanting that firearm when shit goes down.
Yep.
Us here in the southern states are going to be the hardest to take over.
Mm-hmm.
We have the least gun control. We have just as much violence as any state with gun control. No more, no less. There's no difference. It's a statistic that more people are killed with feet and fists. I mean 10 times more people than any firearm.
So I'm looking at Article 1 in the Constitution, all right, and it says, all legislative power herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. Section 2, the House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisites for electors of the most numerous branch of the... Okay, that's not the part. No person shall be a representative who shall not have obtained to the age of 25 years old, so you have to be 25 to be a representative, and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the states in which he shall be chosen. So you have to live in the state that you're chosen to, blah, blah, blah. Where is that one section?
Now, she's saying, we the people do not infringe our right to bear arms. Now, the only people that have the power to actually infringe that right
Mm-hmm.
is ourselves.
Yeah.
If we vote to infringe that right,
Yep.
to rid ourselves of the right to bear arms, which it is our choice,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the only way. And it's a majority vote, always. You're taking away from people who do want to protect themselves. Whether you don't or whatnot, criminals will still find a way to get their hands on something to kill you with. It doesn't matter if you take them away.
Doesn't have to be a gun.
You don't just have to kill the guns. You got silent killers.
Yep.
Someone could get into your house silently and kill you with a knife, and you know what? Because there was no gunfire, it take days for people to find out that you're dead.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Usually gunfire is reported, so you need to look at the real world.
Need to wake up. I mean, the problem is people are so engulfed in their own lives, you know, and not so much their own lives, because I'm guilty of charged as well, but we're not paying attention to our God-given rights, to our constitutional rights. People say, "Oh, the Constitution's dead. It doesn't mean anything anymore." Well, we let it. We voted that way. We let our government convolute the damn do what they want. They're like Consta what? Oh, that piece of paper over there in that building over. Yeah.
We got these gun control people, and most of them are Christians, and most of them have never had a criminal act towards them, never been burglarized, grew up all.
They've never stared down the barrel of a gun before.
They grew up
Yep.
spoon-fed with a silver spoon, the finest.
Uh-huh. And those are the people that make our laws. That's what's pathetic. That's what's horrible about this. Why don't we have people like you, like me, like Daisy, like Paul, like Joseph, like my wife, like my neighbor, like this guy across the street? Why don't we start making the laws? We the people, as the Constitution says.
Oh, we have our vote.
We have our vote, but it doesn't mean nothing.
You know what it is?
Because the president can veto anything.
You know why the laws are changing? Why everything's changing from how it was 40 years ago? Everything's changing from how it was because we've used our guns and used our ways of protecting ourselves in such a way that it's protected us enough that most people have never had a traumatic experience where they've stared down the barrel of a gun or anything like that.
It's coming, people.
And that is getting more and more. These people are getting more and more ignorant to the reality of things, to the animalistic nature of people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And thinking, "Oh, we don't need the guns. We don't need that anymore." Well, the more and more you get rid of it, the easier it is for the predator to hunt the prey.
And that's what it's all about.
Like the argument that I played a couple of weeks ago. A gazelle uses its horns to protect itself from the lion. By taking the horns away from the gazelle and not giving it a chance to protect itself, you just make it easier for the lion to kill.
Oh, yeah. That's the bottom line right there. If the government takes away our weapons, what happens when government collapses? Because I promise you it will.
It's going to.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, what happens when government collapses and they can't protect us?
Look at any strong country. And we're not the only strong country to those who are ignorant to that fact.
Yeah, we're not the superpower anymore.
We are not. Look, all right. Now, this is a touchy one, but Nazi Germany was a superpower.
Right.
They were an absolute superpower. Yep. They killed millions.
They walked across Europe within days.
They had no problem doing it. They were a superpower, one of the strongest countries.
Yep.
We were also one of the strongest countries.
But we were afraid of them.
We didn't like what they were doing. So we stepped in. But we could not have done it alone. We did have our help. We had the rebellious.
Yep.
And what makes people think that can't happen to us? Look at how many people we're killing and look at it through the eyes of another country.
Absolutely.
At any point,
we're the
they
Nazis
could say,
to other countries. Yeah.
Right. At any point, they could say, enough's enough. And we can be overpowered.
Look
by
at
these
Russia,
people.
dude. You were the one that brought it up a couple of weeks ago. I think in our first week, Russia flying the spy planes. They were our allies. They were our best friends.
We fed them a lot of information.
Yeah.
They fed us a lot of information.
But we've been spying on them for years. They've been spying on us for years. There's no trust there whatsoever. And now they're at a boiling point.
Yeah.
Everything is at a boiling point with all these other countries. People don't realize what you're saying is 100% true, man. If we don't stand up for ourselves, the government's not going to be able to one day.
No, we're going to be overpowered. And then what are these stupid ass people going to do?
Oh, we shouldn't have voted for no guns.
Oh,
damn.
now I want a gun.
Right. Yep.
When it's too late.
When you're standing in a concentration camp watching your little daughter get murdered and raped. Oh, I wish I had a gun. I would protect these people. Yeah, well, you part of the problem.
You took that away from everybody.
From yourself. Yeah. Yep.
And you not only took it from yourself, you took it away from everybody who wanted to protect themselves.
Exactly.
Thinking that the barrier of our government and the barrier of our military and police is going to protect you enough. What happens when someone breaks that barrier?
Right. Exactly. Like I said, when government falls, and it will. We're the only reason our government is still going. We the people, once again, I'll keep saying that. We the people. Okay? It is going to be up to us, the people, to protect our country when invaded by a foreign ally.
Yeah.
Or a foreign invader.
We can bitch about our government all day.
Mm-hmm.
But my point to this is, when that government falls, who's going to be to blame for protecting your life? It is your responsibility at that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where the whole right to bear arms comes from.
Exactly.
All the way back. Watch The Patriot, people. Watch the movie The Patriot. You want to see the Constitution in action, the right to bear arms, what it's going to be like? When he made the speech in front of all of those people, how our children are going to be the witnesses of war. He wasn't lying. It was a true statement. War is not going to be, and I just got the chills because the movie's incredible. These wars are not going to be fought in some distant battlefield. Okay? No, they're going to be fought in our backyards, in front of our children, in front of us.
It's getting closer and closer to our doorstep.
Absolutely.
What makes people think that what happened to other countries
can't
happen
here.
to us?
Right. Yep.
What makes people think that?
Yep.
They could penetrate.
You have to be pretty ignorant to think that we are that safe.
We're not unstoppable.
No.
We might be we might be a superpower. Yeah. Now that's debatable these days.
Yeah, exactly.
But just even if we were number one superpower, does not mean we cannot be penetrated. If the world,
some people like to be penetrated.
If the world turns its back to us, and that many people are against us, they will get in.
Yeah. They're already in. We already said it. They're already in. How many people can say that? And this is nothing against anybody. I'm making a general statement. Again, I'll say it. My little disclaimer: opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Walk into any convenience store. Walk into any 7-Eleven. Walk into any one of these little cigarette stores. Tell me who owns it. Where do you think that money's going, people?
Now, there's two ways that those go. Either they're here to escape their past life, or they're here
to finance
a future for them.
Right.
And I do not mean a good one for us.
No. There was a certain doctor, and I won't mention his name here in Hernando County, okay, who was under a big investigation and was almost sent out of this country because they were sending money over back to their home country to support the Afghans.
Yeah.
And that whole bin Laden bullshit. There's a very well-known doctor here in this county.
Mm-hmm. Now, I hope the people aren't ignorant enough to think that there's not someone backing these people against our country.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's some company or other country that's not giving them endorsements to push their way in here. I hope people aren't that ignorant.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. You have all these people who committed genocide. You know what genocide is.
Yep.
What makes you think that someone can't rise into power and do that again?
Oh, right. Yeah. There'll be another, what's his name, Osama. There'll be another, what was the...
Oh, you got even worse ones.
What was the Iraq's dude that we killed?
There's a bunch.
No, we just killed him. We just executed his ass.
Saddam Hussein?
Saddam Hussein. I couldn't think of his name, man. That was pretty stupid.
I mean, look at him. He was a leader of a country.
Omar Gaddafi.
Now...
That's Iran.
Yeah.
We used to say Gaddafi duck.
You have these people who independently did these things. You have Hitler who did it.
The leader of North Korea.
Right. They did it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need any help.
Nope.
So what makes you guys think
the dude killed his uncle?
Yeah. What makes people think that someone with help can't get further than any of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Hitler killed millions.
Oh, my God.
And he was only after a specific type of people.
Yep.
But people think that someone can't push their way into power and have ulterior motives from the get-go. I could easily have something drained into me from a young age and use that information to guide me without ever getting fed any more information for years and act like a completely different person and then one day turn. That could be anybody. And people are ignorant enough to think that can't happen again.
So speaking of Nazis, I have my caller on the line, and let me get over so I can introduce him properly. He is an author, if I can find the right mouse to my computer. He is the author that I had spoke about, and I do apologize. Again, I had completely forgot that I had him calling in until last night when I seen the email. But we're going to be talking to Peter Hochstein. I hope I'm saying that right, Peter. And Hearus Strangled in Molten Chocolate and Nazi Sex Orgy. So let's bring Peter on. Peter, you there? You're live on the radio.
Oh boy, am I here. Let me tell you. Hearus Strangled in Molten Chocolate and Nazi Sex Orgy is a book about my childhood and what drove me into the newspaper business, where I spent the first few years of my adult life before saying to hell with it and going into advertising instead. Well, I needed the money.
Yeah, right. Don't we all?
Yeah, but I never had so much fun as I did when I was a newspaper guy, particularly...
Peter, you there?
Yeah, I don't know what that noise was.
That was the door opening and closing to the studio.
Oh, man, do you have a noisy door.
Yes, we do.
At any rate, I spent close to a year working for the New York Post, a tabloid in New York. It's still a tabloid in New York, although the ownership has changed from the political point of view.
The New York Post is considered a tabloid?
Oh, sure.
I didn't know
Tabloid
that.
refers to the size of the paper and also generally to the interest. The New York Times would be the newspaper of record. The Post and the Daily News, and in those days the Daily Mirror, were kind of the newspapers of what's happening and how juicy is it? Is it scandalous or is...
That was the door again, Peter. Don't worry about it.
And I don't know, that door is scaring the hell out of me. I fully expect, it's so squeaky, I fully expect to see a skeleton come.
Listen, if a skeleton comes through that door, you're going to hear a lot of dead air, followed by a huge crash. And that huge crash is me running through the wall. Anyway, let's talk about your book. Tell me about your book and you know what it's about, and because we were just on the subject of genocide and Nazis and all of that kind of stuff. So
Well, first let me tell you where the title comes from.
Go for it.
I went to a college that didn't have journalism courses, and for a lot of complicated reasons, I became interested in journalism, and so I had to learn it out of a textbook. And I came across this textbook and read the textbook and did what it said. Unfortunately, the textbook was kind of that old-fashioned school of journalism, you know, the who, what, when, where, and how stuff, just as the new journalists of the late 1950s and 60s were coming along, like Tom Wolfe, who in one article, instead of talking about who, what, why, when, and where, the first 60 words of one of his articles was the word hernia, repeated over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Jimmy Breslin, who at the funeral of John F. Kennedy went and spent time with the gravedigger and wrote about it from the gravedigger's point of view. So I was completely misinformed. But one of the things the book said was that if you really wanted a powerful headline, a powerful story, it should contain one of these elements: money, sex, food, violence, or Nazis. And I figured that if I could ever cover a story that covered all those, money, food, violence, sex, and Nazis,
you sure cover them.
I would have the most powerful newspaper story ever written in the history of the world. And of course I sat down to try to write the headline, and no matter what I thought of it, always came out Hearus Strangled in Molten Chocolate and Nazi Sex Orgy. So that's what this memoir is all about.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Well, anyway, I go to work for the New York Post,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first things that happened is I was sent out to interview a dead body. It wasn't really. They said, "Hey, Pete, there's a police report of a body in a building called the Mineral Springs Building in Central Park at 2 o'clock in the morning. I jumped into a cab and I said, we're going to the middle of Central Park. There's a dead body up there. And the cab driver, who figured he was going to turn me into my own newspaper and be a hero, said, did you do it? So I had to show him my press pass and convince him I didn't do it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite daytime stories was interviewing Liz Renee. Now, you can sort of Google her, and you can find pictures of her. And if there are pictures toward the end of her life, she's kind of lost it. But when I saw her in the 1960s, she was stunning. She was this tall, statuesque redhead, perfect features, perfect body, and she was the girlfriend of Mickey Cohn, who was a mafia gangster. He was also kind of their accountant, but he had made a number of hits on his own.
Mm-hmm.
They had a hideaway. By this time, Mickey was, remember Alcatraz? It's just a tourist stop now, but at the time Alcatraz was open for business, and Mickey Cohn was one of the last prisoners in Alcatraz. But Liz and Mickey, before he went away, had a little secret hideaway in New York, even though he was basically a Las Vegas gangster. And what did they used to do there? She used to paint, and together they used to write poetry. Now understand, Liz Renee was a stripper, Cohen was a killer, and the image of these two people huddled together in their Manhattan love nest, writing poetry, just blew me away. I still remember one verse. It was a bitter battle, but I have won. Your forces are routed. You are undone. There was a lot of anger and a lot of, sense that they needed to win in this. It was really quite fascinating.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, she didn't get much space. Eddie Fisher. One of the things that I learned as a reporter for the New York Post is that the fun of being a reporter is not writing stuff. The fun is finding stuff out. Eddie Fisher, the singer, was married to Liz Taylor, the actress. We're talking about 1960, and they were sailing on, I think it was the Leonardo da Vinci, a ship, to Europe. She was going to date Cleopatra, and he was kind of going to hang out in London and make a few records. And it was essentially a photo op. I don't know why the Post sent me down as a reporter, but I felt I had to come back with a live quote. Because if I didn't come back with a live quote, why was I there? I was just another dumb kid wasting his salary. So I shouted out, Eddie, are you going to be upset when you're so far away from Liz? She's going to be in Rome, and you're going to be in London. I expected some, stock answer like, well, Liz and I love each other very much, and it'll be very hard to be apart, but we'll be able to get together on weekends, and we'll keep up during the phone. Some, puffy, platitude-y thing that I could report back. Instead, he exploded. What do you mean by that, he said. What are you trying to imply? And his PR people, his PR handlers, little guys in red striped ties and Haspel suits with button-down collars, kept trying to pull him away and shush him up. He says, no, I'm not going to shut up. I want to know what he meant by that. Well, that was the first indication. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear the noise.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that New York traffic, buddy.
Yeah, that was the first indication that there was a rift in their marriage. And I found it out just by asking a relatively innocent question. All the fun wasn't necessarily in New York. I worked in Troy, Ohio, on a newspaper that still exists out there called the Troy Daily News. And when I was there, they had brought in some hotshot editor, really a fun guy to work for, who was starting up a Sunday newspaper for him. And I found out about it through a friend who was working on the paper. And I used to go down, Troy, Ohio was about 25 miles from where I went to school. I used to drive there on a Saturday afternoon after my last class and work straight through till about 3, 4 o'clock Sunday morning when the Sunday edition of the Troy Daily News came off the press, to which I was paid whatever the editor had in his petty cash box. Sometimes for my 14 hours I get $14. Sometimes I get $6. I didn't care. It was just the joy of doing it.
Right. You enjoyed what you did more than you enjoyed the money, because obviously the money wasn't that good.
The money was, it barely covered my gas in those days. Fortunately, in those days, gas was cheap. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometime after I left and went back to New York, the editor got up in the middle of the day, said, well, I'm going to lunch, and they never saw him again. And it turned out that all kinds of people were after him. At the country club, he had found some wealthy guy and sold this wealthy guy stock in the newspaper that the editor didn't have to sell. And it also turned out that when he left with the funds for the Little League baseball team, of which he was custodian.
Oh, no.
Yeah, these guys were colorful characters, but they were great writers, and they taught you stuff. I'll give you an example. Remember, at the time I'm working for him, I'm about 19 years old. And somewhere out, Troy, Ohio, was the home of something called Hobart Manufacturing, which made refrigerators and washing machines, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know the name Hobart.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the countryside around it was really countryside. It was farm country.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I get a call. There's been some kind of accident out on route. I don't even remember what route it is. Go out and see it. Take your camera along. Well, I get there, and evidently what has happened is that a 10-year-old kid decided he wanted to drive just like his daddy. So he got in his daddy's Oldsmobile. In those days, cars didn't have bucket seats. They had banquette seats across the front. And he got into his dad's car, started it up, took off down the road, fell off the seat. There were no seat belts in those days either. Fell off the seat, fell onto the accelerator pedal. And the car roared out of control, jumped a ditch, tore through some barbed wire fence, shot across about 50 feet of muddy cornfield, and slammed into a house where it came to rest with its front wheels in a farmer's bed. Now, the farmer and his wife had been watching, I think, The Late Show on television, and there was a commercial break. So they went to the kitchen to get milk and cookies. Had they been in bed, they might not have made it. But they heard this crash, and they run into their bedroom, and there's an Oldsmobile in their bed, with a 10-year-old kid who's, a little bit bruised, but essentially not at all hurt, crawling out and looking very puzzled. They called the cops. When I wrote the story, I followed the who, what, when, where, how, why formula that I was taught from this textbook.
Sure.
My hands on. John Smith, whatever his name was, age 10, borrowed his father's car, lost control, shot across 50 feet of cornfield, yada, 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 yada. I handed the story across to Glenn, and he said, my editor, and he said, kid, this is no way to write a story. Let me show you how you write this. And he rolled a piece of paper into his typewriter, and you got to know that Barney Oldfield had been a very famous racing driver some years earlier. He dashes out a sentence and it said, a 10-year-old kid was all shook up but unhurt last night after a wild ride that would have made the late Barney Oldfield look like a piker. And then he said, okay, that's how you write the story. Now you finish it. And that's how I learned my journalism lessons, on the job. Not from a book, because books will always teach you wrong. Essentially, for most good stories, there's a personality behind them, the writer's personality, and the personality of the people. Best journalists capture a little bit of both. Now, unfortunately, the New York Post didn't last forever. I had to go back to college to finish up and get my degree. And by the time I came back, newspapers were imploding in New York. When I started, there had been 7 newspapers. But the New York Daily Mirror and the New York Journal American and the New York Herald Tribune and the New York World Telegram and Sun all went out of business at approximately the same time. They first merged into one paper called the World Journal Tribune, and then that flopped. There are now still only 3 newspapers in New York, and 2 of those exist by the grace of the publisher's wallet. So I came back to find out that the town was full of reporters looking for work, and there was no work to be had, except somebody gave me a tip that a guy named Bob Harrison was looking for reporters. Now, have you any idea who Bob Harrison was?
I can't say that the name sounds familiar. It's probably way before my time.
Probably, almost certainly, because I'm a pretty ancient guy.
I was born in the 70s, so yeah.
Yeah, boy, am I ancient compared to you. I'm not even going to... But at any rate, Bob Harrison was the father of the newsstand sleazoid, the sleazy scandal rag that does nothing but scandal. He had started a magazine called Confidential, which used to tackle on the sex lives of movie stars. And unfortunately, some of the movie stars got so irate that they had sued him out of business. So he's starting up all over again with a new newspaper, this time called Inside News. And I was going to help write the first edition. I came to see him. He lived in a penthouse in a building that no longer exists. It's been torn down to make way for what was then called the General Motors building in New York, giant skyscraper.
Yep.
But he lived in an apartment in a hotel. It was a duplex with cathedral windows, and this guy comes out, and he's all Hollywood glamour. He's got a big head of curly gray hair. He's wearing a paisley silk bathrobe with a fur collar. He's got two very, very good-looking sisters. They were much older than I. They were in their 50s, but even as a 22-year-old, I could tell that they were quite good-looking. And he was in the middle of getting rid of one girlfriend and connecting with another. And he'd say, has Reggie called? And I'd say, she called 20 times. And he'd say, I don't want to talk to her. Tell her I'm not here. And finally he looks at me and he says, who the hell are you? I said, well, you invited me to come here for an interview. He says, yeah. He says, what are you? So I said, well, I'm a former newspaper reporter for the New York Post. He says, newspaper reporter? He says, newspaper guys don't know what news is. I said, what are you talking about? He says, newspaper guys don't know what news is. He says, let me give you a test. See for yourself. And he starts writing a headline in the air, long, long headline, as if he's spelling it out while he recites it to me. He says, famous movie star gets into sports car, gets drunk, kills 6 people. Is that news? I said, of course that's news. A drunk movie star in a sports car killing 6 people. He says, that's not news. He says, anybody can get drunk and get into a sports car and kill 6 people. Famous movie star gets drunk on water, gets into a sports car, kills 6 people. That's news. I said, Bob, how the hell do you get news like that? He said, kid, there's only one way. You've got to make it up.
And
that's
hence,
what he did.
Hence the invention of satire news.
Well, except it wasn't satire. I mean, he delivered it with a perfectly straight face, and occasionally he brought in real people. Let me tell you a little bit about this. He used to work on stories the way they work in advertising agencies. People would sit around and kick around ideas, and if there was something that caught Bob's fancy, he'd tell you to write it, and then his 2 sisters would read it aloud to him. I have a funny feeling, and a friend of mine who worked for him also had the same feeling, that Bob was actually a functional illiterate, that the reason people had to read stories aloud to him was because he couldn't read them himself. But anyway, I did one called Fidel Castro's All-Girl Firing Squad. You see, anybody can get killed by a firing squad, but an all-girl firing squad. That was one story. Another one was the Village of Bald Women. This is when human hair wigs were all the rage back in the 60s. And so we invented this little town where women were being forced to sell their hair to keep the economy going. We did one called, it was every college boy's fantasy, Call Boy Brothel Rated. It's where college boys were getting a chance to have sex with rich, beautiful women for money. You know, show me when that's going to happen. Finally, on a Friday, Bob had read something in Walter Winchell's column. Walter Winchell is a national syndicated columnist and also radio commentator. And Bob was extremely jealous of him. Winchell would have nothing to do with him, but Bob thought that Winchell was his rival. He would take him to a restaurant. Bob would take you to a restaurant, and he'd say to the head waiter, "Is Winchell been in today?" "Oh, no, sir, Mr. Harrison." "Well, that's all right. He comes and tell him I was here." And Winchell's column had a little piece that I found unintelligible. But at the time, Montgomery Clift's niece, a young, very troubled girl, had been having an affair with an older, by older I mean 20-something, she was in her teens, an older, wealthy Swiss-Italian millionaire. And he finally...
And now, I don't mean to interrupt you, but, like, give us an idea, like, what year is it right about now?
Now, when I'm working for Harrison, we're talking 1962.
Okay, all right. I wish I was alive back then. Things were so much better. Go ahead.
Yeah. When I was working for the Post, it was 1960. At any rate, she had somehow gotten her hands on a gun and shot the boyfriend, and then disappeared for a week. And the tabloids were full of, where is she? Where is she? Where is she hiding? Bob decided, on the basis of some largely unintelligible paragraph in Winchell's column, that what she had done is she had cut off her sexual organs and flown to Brazil to throw them in the face of a rival lover.
Ugh.
And I said, "Come on, Bob." He said, No, that's what happened. It says so right here in Winchell's column. I said, "I don't read any of that here." He says, "That's what it says, write it up." And I said to him, "Bob," this was Friday, I started working for him on the Monday. I said, "Bob, I don't mind making up stories about make-believe people. But I kind of draw the line at making up stories about real people, especially when this can hurt them."
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
"Kid, I never liked you anyway. You're fired. Get the hell out of here." And he had one of his sisters write me a check. I was making $75 a week. I got my $75, and I never saw him again. Inside News, which was published twice a month, published this issue, and then it published one more edition. I remember seeing the headline in a railroad station somewhere, "Lesbian couple has baby." This was before people could, gay people could adapt. So somehow the implication was that one had fertilized the other, and then that publication ceased too.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what became of Bob. Eventually, he died. I think his two sisters are long dead. But it was one of the most fabulous weeks I've ever had in my life, working for a man who invented news.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I kind of liked it, I got to tell you. But my one of the points of the book is that my entire life was spent looking for the perfect story, the heiress strangled in molten chocolate at Nazi sex orgy story, and I never got to write it. And so at the end of the book, which by the way you can pick up in an ebook form on Amazon.com or the iTunes store, any of your favorite electronic book outlets, I wrote the story. The story I've been aching to write all my life, Heiress strangled in molten chocolate at Nazi sex orgy. May I read it to you, or part of it?
Certainly, and just to let you know, I did put a link up. It has your name, your direct response, an editorial copy, and your office address and phone number. I did not put your personal information up there.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
People should also look for the book on Amazon.
Yes.
Okay, so finally I wrote the story, and here it is.
Go for it.
The skull-prone, shapely blonde heiress to $1 billion axle grease fortune on her father's side at an international perfume conglomerate on her mother's was murdered last night among some of her favorite things: loud music, gooey molten chocolate, whipped cream, and a pack of panting, naked Nazis. The death of heiress Darina Lipid at the age of 32 occurred during a party-turned-orgy in an abandoned feather warehouse in the Dumbo section of Brooklyn. Just before the party began, the Nazis had carried in 3 steel vats of chocolate, 60 cartons of ready-whipped dessert topping, a 50-gallon drum of Fox's You Bet chocolate syrup, and a 5-gallon jug of strawberry-scented petroleum jelly, according to homicide detective Vinnie Swords of the Gold Street Precinct. Police said that the beautiful and buxom billionaires had climbed into one of the chocolate-filled vats and was engaging in what Detective Swords called unspeakable acts until one of the Nazis, Kurt von Curtis, strangled her with a red velvet G-string. Pending investigation, police were unable to say whether the G-string was her own or belonged to one of the other revelers.
Is this based on a true story, or
what?
Is this based?
No, I made this up.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
The one lesson I learned from Bob is that if you want to have really great stories, you can't wait for them to happen. You got to make them up.
Yeah.
The nude heiress was found, her tongue bloated, her face smeared with chocolate, a blob of whipped cream on her nose after police raided the former Feather Warehouse following a noise complaint from people in neighboring buildings. Brought to the Gold Street Precinct in Brooklyn for questioning while wrapped in an orange bath towel, Von Curtis, who described his occupation as Ubergauleiter, also as Assistant Grand Kleagle, admitted causing Darina's death, but said it was an accident that occurred during, quote, rough sex, close quote. He insisted that Darina was a willing participant. Several others in the Nazi group were arrested on charges ranging from disorderly conduct to conspiracy to commit murder. A summons was also issued for a noise violation. Neighbors across the street complained that the song Come Sit Under My Umbrella, Ella, was played repeatedly in ear-splitting volume. Nazi schmazzies is that stupid song playing over and over that got my goat, said one of the neighbors, Mrs. Hyman Schwartz. They couldn't change the record, tape, whatever these kids play on their iPhones. Darina Lippert grew up dividing her time between her divorced mother's Park Avenue triplex Manhattan silk stocking district and her late father's palatial lakeside estate in Greenwich, Connecticut. She attended an exclusive girls' prep school, the Barley Knockflegel Academy in the fashionable Upper East Side. The school is known for its heavy concentration of debutantes among the student population. However, the shapely Darina had a reputation for causing trouble when she was a student, said a former classmate who refused to be identified. They said she was having an affair with another girl. Then they said it was with a boy. Then they said it was with both, said the classmate. I like one or the other, but both? Sheesh! That was Darina. In fact, for all of us knew it was both at the same time. The school threatened to expel her, but her father created substantial endowment for the school, and that ended that, said the classmate. Darina's mother, daughter of the cosmetics queen who introduced the world to such $200 an ounce perfumes as Carnal Sin, Orgiast, and Bordello Mio, was said to have had an affair with the son of a Nazi diplomat when she was only 11.
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting.
Okay. So, after a while, it just got to be too much, and I needed the money, and I went into advertising, and I stayed there for years.
Yeah.
But the years I spent in advertising, I'll never forget. I got to tell you about Sylvia Krause. I like crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy people make good copy. And the attitude of the New York Post is that crazy people are just crazy, have nothing to do with it. Well, there was a woman named Sylvia Krause, and anybody who's now of retirement age who went to Hunter College in New York will remember Sylvia. She had an antique shop about 2 blocks up from the college on Lexington, on the corner of Lexington and 70th Street. And for a while she had antiques in her window, but eventually she got the secret knowledge. And the secret knowledge was that America was full of communist agents, secret agents, working as waiters. And what they would do is they would wait till famous people came into their restaurants, and then these communist secret agents poisoned famous Americans. And she had a whole list of Americans that they had gotten to. And celebrities and politicians and judges, these were all people who the press reported died of natural causes, but never mind that. Sylvia Krause knew that they had been secret agents. I said, how do you know that they have all these secret agents working in restaurants? And she said, well, they tried to poison me. She said, they put poison in my soup. And I said, but Sylvia, you're standing here talking to me now. And she said, well, of course. The moment I realized I had been poisoned, I stuck my finger down my throat and threw up right there in the middle of the restaurant. So I thought this was a great story, and I brought it in, and I watched. In those days, this was before computers. You type your story on cheap paper. And I watched, sadly, as an editor glanced at my story, and what they would do when they didn't want to throw anything out until the end of the day, but they weren't going to use it, they would put it literally on a brass spike. That was called spiking a story. And I watched, sadly, as he spiked my story about Sylvia Krauss. Many years later, Sylvia was quite attractive in her younger days, by the way. But many years later, I was passing through Penn Station, and there was a ragged woman, rime on her face, with a filthy paper coffee cup with a few coins in it, shaking it and handing out leaflets about the communist menace and who they were poisoning. I was Sylvia Krauss, now homeless, but still somehow keeping up her practice as an exposer of the communist conspiracy.
That's pretty wicked.
Story. It's a true story. Funny that ends up sad.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds like you had a pretty interesting life. I mean, sounds like times were definitely fun back then.
Yeah. You're getting. I don't know if you can filter out that. No, it went away. They're doing some construction, and you hear a lot of vibrations. Do you have time for one more story? The story of Albert Cadon, the mad painter?
We've got about 2 minutes left. I've got to get to some commercials. Unfortunately, no, we're real close to running out of time.
Okay, then
yeah.
Thank you for chatting with me. And I'd just like to remind your listeners once more that the book is called Eris Strangled in Molten Chocolate at Nazi Sex Orgy, a memoir, and it's available on Amazon.com and in the iTunes store if you go around to their book section, and probably any other online bookseller. It's an ebook only, and I think they're going to have a good time reading it.
Cool. And again, like I said, I put a link up to your office, and I'll go ahead and I'll let people know where they can get that book. I really appreciate the call. I really appreciate the insight. And, good luck with the book. I hope everything works out. And I hope you sell millions and millions of copies, because then we could say, hey, listen, we had this guy on Talk Shit.
Well, yeah, but the book is a fun reading. That's no shit. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. You have a good one.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Chris with his book, and that's let's see, let me get back over here. That's Peter Hotchinstein, sorry, and he is the author of Eris Strangled in Molten Chocolate and Nazi Sex Orgy, which, if anybody was listening, I know I was. It was a made up story that he made up to get news, and that was the way things went back then. His editor said, you want good news, you got to make it up. Nowadays, you do that, you get sued. But we got about 35 minutes left of the show. I gotta get moving here. I got a quick plug that I want to play.
Hey guys, this is Tia, and you are listening to Talk Shit Radio.
We're a little disorganized here this morning. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, I'm trying to load some of my commercials into the my board here, but I'm having some trouble finding everything here. So I got a message from Joseph from Solivay, our phone provider. I know we play this every day, but so our phone provider will be right back.
Hi, this is Joseph with Talk Shit Radio. I'd like to talk about my cell phone carrier, Solivay. I've used Solivay since 2013, and I can tell you they have great coverage and service. I started with Solivay paying $39 a month. That gives you unlimited talk, text, and data. Now my phone bill's free, and I have the ability to generate monthly income. How, you ask? Well, simply put, each time someone I refer pays their cell phone bill, Solovay sends me $5. If you need cell service or would like residual income, please go to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/TalkShitTV Show, and we will have a direct link to Solovay. Go check it out and see for yourself.
And that was Joseph and the phone service that we have for Solovay. Good way to make some income right there, as Joseph explained yesterday on the air, how it works. And it's a really cool concept. I'm going to throw up a little music here. Not literally throw up, but you know what I meant. I'm going to get some music playing here. And, yeah, we got a little Bob Marley.
Did you share the link to this?
To what? To the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, so we got a little Bob Marley, and we'll be back in a little bit.
I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my
woman, no cry.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, serving the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we made. Good friends we have, oh good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say, and no woman no cry. No woman no cry. Yeah, little darling, don't shed no tears. No woman no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, and then Georgie would make the firelight as it was love would burning through the night. And we would cook cornmeal porridge, of which I'll share with you. My feet is my only carriage, so I've got to push on through. But while I'm gone, I mean, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright. I say everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. So woman, no cry. No, no woman, no cry. Woman, little sister, don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry.
You are listening to Talk Shit Radio, and that was Bob Marley off of the best of Bob Marley. And we'll be right back.
Don't let them change ya. Or even rearrange ya. Oh no. We've got a life to live. They say only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. Stay alive. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved for that?
All right, I hate to interrupt the song because it's a really good song, but there's within the medical cannabis community, there's a bit of a scam going on, and I just seen it again, so I'm going to put it out there on Front Street. It was posted by a Jason Howard, okay, on the website called Marijuana is Medicine. So he's selling 30 grams of this, 30 grams of that, blah, 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 blah. He's got a big, giant list of all of these prices and, 4 ounces of sweet skunk for $1,000, pound of sour diesel. Let me explain something to you people, all right? If you go and buy from this guy, and I want to dare anybody to call him up, find out how it works. Guarantee he's going to ask you to send Western Union, okay? Right there, that's how you know it's a scam. Western Union, okay? Because there's no way to insure your money. You want to buy legal buds, go to a dispensary. Do not buy them offline from some jamoke who claims that, he's selling this shit online. It is a scam, and I've already took care of one of these scammers, and he's next. He is my next target. So just to let you know, I'm going to come after you next, buddy. And your name again, and I'll put that out there, is Jason Howard. I don't know if he's the person who, is running the scam or anything, but it's bullshit, people. So don't buy from these idiots. I mean, especially if they want you to freaking pay with Western Union, because if you think and go look in your spam. Anybody who has Gmail, go look in your spam folder, and them emails that you get that you're the heiress to a fortune over on the other side of the country, but all you got to do is send $35 Western Union or $35, whatever it is. It's a freaking scam, people. Okay, it's some towel head, Mexican, Chinese dude, whatever, sitting there taking your money, or this could be some scumbag who is cashing in on people who need it. And so whatever you do, don't fall for this shit. If you need the medicine, go to a dispensary. If you live in a state like Florida and there's no dispensaries, a drug dealer, have them deliver it to your freaking house, okay? You don't buy pot online from some guy who's going to tell you, oh, yeah, whatchamacallit, send me a Western Union and we'll send you the buds. I've already ran across it. Now, I could be wrong. It could be for real, but I'd be willing to bet that it's bullshit. So, yeah. But anyway, we got about, 19 minutes left of the show. So, yeah. What is this? So I guess you're against Silk Road? What's that all about?
I just posted a meme. It was funny.
A meme?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Don't steal, lie, kill, or sell drugs. The government doesn't like competitors. Yeah, enough said, man. You can't steal, you can't lie, you can't steal drugs because, our government will take you out. They don't like competition. Let's see.
This is interesting.
Go for it.
Now, I'm pro guns and stuff. I'm pro guns.
Yep.
And I'm reading this article about a girl accidentally shooting her instructor in the head. She's 9 years old.
What?
And he's teaching her how to shoot an Uzi, a fully automatic Uzi.
Well, she can't hold on to that thing.
Okay.
I can barely hold on to it.
So she goes to shoot it, and the recoil, as she's shooting down range, kicks the gun up to the left really fast.
Right.
And he's standing right there, right where the gun was coming up. Now, first of all, as an instructor, you should know well enough to stand behind the person firing.
Right.
Second of all, who's having their 9-year-old taught how to shoot automatic weapons?
Yeah.
At 22, that's fine. Maybe a low-caliber handgun, that's fine. An Uzi? What does a 9-year-old girl need to know how to shoot an Uzi for?
Yeah, right? Enough said.
That should be the parents there to protect that at 9 years old. I mean, I think you should definitely teach your kid gun control, but they put an Uzi in her hand, and I'm sure she was having fun with it, but she was pretty much forced to be there, and now she's got to live with that for the rest of her life.
Right.
That she
killed this guy, and it was an accident.
Accidentally killed this guy with an Uzi.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, accidents happen. Just like car accidents happen, just like anything else.
Right.
But you shouldn't be putting a pretty mid to high caliber automatic weapon in a 9-year-old's hand.
No, if you want the kid to learn how to shoot an automatic weapon, you find one of them spring-loaded 22s that push the bullets up with a spring, in 100 rounds. That'll, even though that's dangerous too.
Yeah, I mean, you can see by the video that it doesn't look like this girl knows how to shoot.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she's had training with a non-automatic weapon, so why would they jump straight to that?
That's
I
crazy,
don't understand it, man.
Yeah,
and you can watch the video, and as soon as she starts shooting, you can tell that she does not know how to fire the weapon.
Yeah, that's funny.
She's holding it like this. And everyone listening, she started off holding it mid-chest.
And it just climbed. She's not strong enough to hold that back.
No.
That's crazy, man. We've got about 10 minutes till 10. And we can actually, because we got a late start, we actually have about 16 minutes of our broadcast left. And we just went blank. The internet is screwing up bad. We're blank. There's nothing going through right now. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know what is going on. I don't know why this is happening. But the internet is a busy place today. At least my connection is. Obviously, I'm going to have to bring in an independent connection here. All right, so I have something that I want to read real quick that was posted by a very good friend of mine, JB. And it says, it just caught my eye and I liked it. It's got a picture of a guy sitting in a tent, armed to the gills with his rifle and everything. And he's sitting there, he's waiting for whatever. But, so it says, boy, over the past 2 years, do I know this to be true. When things are shitty, take comfort in knowing it can always get shittier. When it can't get any shittier, take solace in the fact that things can only improve. Remember, adversity is a fact of life. It can't be controlled, but what we can control is how we react to it. JB, that was an awesome statement. Awesome. And it is true. Yeah. So that was pretty good. And I'm looking at the Silk Road 2.0 website. Listen, man, I'm not against anything like that, but this is just another example, all right, of somebody trying to cash in on a movement that is to help patients. And I didn't read any of this. The rising sense of a community among online dark matters. I don't even, you know what? I don't even give a shit what this is. It's irrelevant. That's what it is. But, Joseph, you're killing me with all these messages.
It's kind of my fault.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. No, every time I turn around, my phone's going boom, boom. I keep thinking somebody's actually trying to talk to me. Not much going on in the news today. A lot of hoopla and, same old shit going on in Ferguson and American killed fighting for ISIS. Again, another one. Douglas MacArthur McCain died fighting with ISIS in Syria, but there may be up to 100 Americans who have tried to join militia groups, a State Department spokeswoman says. So there you have it. We have Americans trying to join militia groups. Anyway, what is he talking about?
I don't know.
So, does U.S. Navy need a ghost boat? I don't think so. I think we're pretty good with a nice nuclear submarine, a Kula class attack sub or some shit like that.
Oof.
Joseph, what does Silk Road have to do with anything? All right, I have no idea. I didn't read into it, but all I was saying is this guy's posting up, trying to take people's money and cash in, and that's all I said. So let's not take it any further than that, and let's leave it at that. Okay? Thank you. And if you had something to say about it, you should have been here. Anyway.
I gotta look it up. I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I looked it up, but all I'm talking about is some dude that's online trying to scam. I've already busted somebody else that's tried to do it, and they pretty much, are no longer on there anymore. Joseph, I'm in the middle of a broadcast right now, okay? They pretty much, they're not online anymore because I busted them trying to scam. But, anyway, what else is going on?
With what?
In the world, anything.
Not a whole lot. We got
Yeah.
what we spoke on earlier. We're in our last few closing minutes here.
Yeah. I was looking at CNN, reading this American got killed and all of that kind of stuff, and does the U.S. Navy need a ghost boat? I don't think we need to spend all that money on another boat, although it looks pretty badass. I gotta say. Is the Navy missing the boat on the stealthy ghost warship? Right. I got video of it, so we actually have audio. So we got about 16 seconds, and then I'll bring up the audio on it. Let's see. Yeah, what else is going on? What's going on locally? Anything? All right, so here's this Navy ghost ship thingy. Oh, that is badass. I'm going to put the link up on Facebook.
What is it?
It's badass. You can't see anything. It's all... you can't... There's no talking, I guess. But for those of you that want to check it out, I just put up the link on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Talkshit TV show. It looks badass. 60-foot vessel. Counter-rotating propellers. This boat does about 75 miles an hour. Wow, it's badass looking. Yeah, I put it up on the Facebook page, but we're gonna we'll end the show at exactly 10 o'clock, even though we still have some time. We got about 9 minutes left, but according to the clock, we only have about 4 minutes left. So, and that's just because we started a little late. What else, bro? What else? If nothing, I'm just gonna play some music for the end of the show.
I got nothing. I'm just looking into all this crap.
Yeah. And I'll look into this Silk Road shit and find out more. I can't talk about something that I have no idea about. I just can't do it.
I'm getting a little information on it now.
Yeah. I just won't talk about something if I don't have any idea. But my point to the whole thing is like I said, I found a scam, somebody scamming on the internet, trying to rob people, and it's bullshit. You know, we're not there yet, people. You just don't go.
I do actually. The way that I'm being explained this whole Silk Road thing, I'm pretty intrigued.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, we got a few minutes.
So yeah, I don't know enough about it to speak on it.
All right, then we'll save it for tomorrow.
We'll give Joseph the chance to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Joseph, the stage will be all yours tomorrow to explain it to us. You explain it to me. Explain it to me, will you?
I'd like to hear it detailed in person.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like I said, for those of you that have listened to the show from the beginning, you do know that I won't talk about anything if I'm not informed about it. Marcy just sent me a message. Have a good day. Listen to you tomorrow. Thank you, Marcy, for listening to us at all. And I appreciate it. And once you get the cojones to call in, you call in. But, all right. So, I am going to end the show on some music. We've only got about 2 minutes left. So, actually, you know what? Screw the music.
We'll just finish this out.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs to the people who are there and supporting us, the fans.
Yep.
I'd like to shout out to you and Joseph making it all possible, helping out
Yep.
the best we can. I mean, I'm sure we'll get everything taken care of.
Yeah.
As for now, we got what we got. Hopefully people are opening their eyes a little bit. I mean, that's all I can hope for is just get the word out and have a couple people open their eyes to what's really going on instead of
the propaganda that they're fed. Exactly.
They go to one media outlet and trust that, but everybody knows that there's someone behind someone who's behind someone who's behind someone who's behind someone.
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? I'd like to thank Daisy for interjecting all the time, helping us with some subjects. She doesn't have to get up this early and do this, but she does, and she lives 1,800 miles away, but she's up every morning, and she gets online and feeds us information, whether we read it or not. That's depending on time, but Daisy, I want to thank you. And Daisy is a DJ with the Royal Venus Riders Network. Her screen name or her DJ name is Daisy Venus Kingmaker. Again, I want to thank Marcy for listening to the show. Marcy, anybody that you share it with, I'd like to thank them, the listeners. And Hayden, I'd like to thank you for being here every morning. Joseph, I'd like to thank him for being here when he is. Obviously he's only missed 2 days, but it is what it is. Joseph, don't get so pissed off at me. All right, guys, you have a good day, and we're out of here. This is Talk Shit Radio signing off.